So I think there's been lots of changes over the first year. I think we've realised that probably for me primarily I've been more involved on the ground as things were starting off. I was very involved in the kids ministry each week and in a leadership position over that. And I think as the year has gone, I've needed to pull out of that slightly more into a more leadership role. I'm not generally on kids each week, which has been nice for me. And I think I've seen that that's been really beneficial to the team as well. They've taken on a lot more responsibility within that and they've been able to grow therefore. And I've, my role has shifted more into meeting with women in the church in a more maturity level position. So I'm trying to mature them and grow them. And I'm doing that with the aim that they are able to then do that with other people as well. So again, I'm sort of trying to pull myself back more within the church. So I'm able to lead other women to then take on a role of more maturing other people as well within the church.
That's like a role change that you guys have experienced. Have there been issues that have arisen for you as a couple or as a church that you were just completely surprised by, or anything that might be interesting?
Yeah, I think a little bit like having young kids, when they go from 0 to 3 months, the way that you do things are a little bit different. 3 to 6 months, it's a little bit different as well. Probably one of the challenges has been, as we constantly need to recalibrate certain things, how we do family life and that kind of thing. It changes fairly rapidly over that first year. But it doesn't need to be completely sporadic. There's still, I think we find even despite that, there were some core things that we could remain as a constant within that. But that was certainly one of the challenges of that as the church grew, as our positions kind of changed and we're working out what this looks like for us as a family. We've had a lot of conversations about that over this last year, haven't we, in terms of how we spend our time. We went from having a date night to having a date night plus a diary date night, didn't we? Because that's what's required now for us, syncing our diaries more, doing that in a way that we didn't have to before.
Let's talk about the church itself. Now, have you seen fruit? And really, what is fruit? What would you look at as fruit for the first year?
Yeah, well, look, one of the obvious things that we always go to when we think about fruit is conversion growth, and we've been really thankful at Establish to see significant conversion growth happening. But there were a couple of parts of fruit that we maybe underestimated in a sense, and it's watching people who have come from de-church backgrounds that have never really connected in before actually start to get and grasp what it is to live on community for Jesus and to actually start being on mission. And I'm kind of struck constantly by Paul at the beginning of Thessalonians, where he talks about their love and he celebrates their love, he celebrates their work. And that's been something that's been a real joy, I think, this year to see. We have something like 80% of people serving in teams. That's fruit. It's a work of the Spirit that actually inspires people to live it out for Jesus every day. And then I think probably in addition to that, it's just the small wins, sometimes it's a step forward and a couple of steps back. But when you see someone who has indicated that they're a Christian before, and it looks like they're not really grasping the core concepts of the gospel to actually have that lit up for them by the Spirit of God through His Word, and that's something to rejoice over. That's something to count as fruit, I think, and theologically we would agree with that as well. It's fruit in maturity, in service, in belonging, in all of these different health indicators of the church.
Leigh, Cathra, it's been great to actually share some of the conversion stories within the network. Now, you've had a surprising number of conversions within the first year. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, we were thinking initially when we were looking at the people that we saw were clear conversion growth at Established Church, and thinking, maybe we've seen about 3 people, something like that, who have become Christians. But a number of weeks ago, we put out a church health questionnaire that asked both the question, what did you consider yourself before? Were you not a Christian? Were you not sure where you were with Jesus? And then how do you view yourself now? And what was the results of that?
So there was 8 people that put themselves in the either not Christian or not sure where they stood category who now say they are definite followers of Jesus. So that was really awesome, wasn't it? We were we got the results in and we're looking going, 8? Who are these 8? And it was some were very clear and some we think we know, but we're not 100% sure on. But that's exciting.
Maybe it was somebody filling out the questionnaire 5 times or something. But I mean, we don't think that's the case. I think as we look around people, we see particular evidences of grace, and maybe we were just seeing that as their ongoing maturity. We had a number of younger people who I think were going from that questioning stage in their faith now into more owning their faith, and being part of a church plant has actually been really helpful for them, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's pushed them, I think, just from being able to sit in the pews with their family to actually going, no, I'm involved, I'm needing to serve, I'm needing to push myself out. It's harder to hide in a church plant. I think they need to really step up a bit, and it's easier for us to push them, I think, because I say, it's harder for them to just fall to the sidelines. Yeah,
and it's been really interesting as well, because that helped for us when we got to our Leaders Vision weekend away. That helped for us identify why we were having some of the issues that we were having as well, because we were thinking, oh well, we've got this body of people that are identify as Christian, they're already fairly mature and whatever, whereas we were seeing that there were certain things that weren't happening, and that was becoming a discouragement for us. But now that we've got that information, we go, well, that completely makes sense. You know, these are a bunch of people that are baby Christians that are trying to work out what it looks like to live a Christian life, what it looks like to serve, to belong, to do all of that stuff. So it was really helpful and awesome information to get as a surprise as well.
Excellent.